For you football historians out there, what is your favorite era of the NFL? Maybe you're a younger fan who prefers modern-day football, all about the flash and the high-scoring offenses. Perhaps you're the old, hard-nosed type who likes to reminisce about the 1970s when attempted murder on the field was legal. Both sides of the spectrum have their ups and downs, but for me it doesn't get any better than the 2000s. The game was a perfect blend of physicality and flair. It still had some bone-crunching defenses, but mixed perfectly with the talent and excitement that the league has today. And few games encapsulated all of that like this one did. And it doesn't get much better when two equals meet in this era in the playoffs, now does it? The visiting Pittsburgh Steelers have been on a roller coaster coming into this game. If we're being honest, a lot of games from the O2 Steelers could be in its own video. From starting 1-3 to a quarterback change to winning 4 straight to the craziest tie in NFL history to winning the AFC North and coming back from down 24-7 against the Cleveland Browns in the wild card. Former XFL MVP Tommy Maddox took over for Cordell Stewart mid-season, and despite being briefly paralyzed against, ironically, the Titans, he went 7-3-1 in 2002. Amos Zaraway and Jerome Bettis led a top 10 rushing offense, while Hines Ward and Plaxico Burress both logged 1,300-yard receiving seasons. Pittsburgh's 16th ranked defense was led by none other than Joey Porter. The Steelers are a few years away from James Harrison and Troy Polamalu taking the defense to a whole nother level. Head coach Bill Cowher is in the playoffs for the 8th time, but is still looking for his first ring. Despite leading many excellent Steelers teams, he's only 7-7 in the postseason and lost in his only Super Bowl appearance. The clock is ticking, and if he wants another crack at the Super Bowl, he's going to have to get back at a squad that he lost to in the regular season. As for the Tennessee Titans, the path has been a lot smoother. Coming off their only playoff miss since becoming the Titans, and a 1-4 start in 2002, they won 10 of their last 11 to win the AFC South and a first-round bye. Signal caller Steve McNair threw the most picks he threw in a season, but he's still soon-to-be co-MVP Steve McNair. He and running back Eddie George led the rushing attack, while Derek Mason got a bulk of their receiving work. The defensive front was headlined by Kevin Carter, Albert Hainsworth, Carlos Hall, Javon Kearse, and Keith Bullock. Kearse missed 12 games in 2002, but returned in time for Tennessee's playoff debut in the Coliseum. Yes, that's what it was called, the Coliseum. Oh, and did I mention Jeff Fisher was the head coach? Yeah, he might be a meme nowadays, but back in the early 2000s, he was thought of as a solid football mind. His downfall hasn't happened yet. The hometown Titans are 4.5-point favorites, as the Oakland Raiders await the winner in the AFC Championship. It's time for two former rivals to go to war, and show why the 2000s was the golden era of NFL football. This is the 4th playoff matchup between these two franchises, although the 3 that preceded this one took place when the Titans were the Houston Oilers. Regardless, Steelers fans are leaning on the fact that they went 3-0 in those games. Titans fans are leaning on home field advantage and their regular season win over Pittsburgh in Week 11. It's a cool 34 degrees, it's dim and the lights are bright, the perfect atmosphere for postseason football. The Steelers start the game on offense, and right from the opening kickoff, it's clear the Titans are not short on energy.
Nedney's kick down to the 5, the rookie Mays to the 20, running like Willie Mays, out to the 35, the 37.
A for effort, I guess. Either way, a solid return from Randall sets up their offense across their own 35. Amos Zaraway kicks the Steeler offense with a run to midfield before passing the sticks off to the XFL MVP. Take it away, Tommy.
Down at the 50-yard line for the Steelers. Fake to Zaraway. Maddox all day to throw. Intercepted. Picked off by Samari Roll. And Roll returns to the 48. And do they love that in Tennessee?
Plaxico Burress slipped and fell as if he ran on a banana peel in Smash Bros. Samari Roll was a benefactor, and all Maddox can do is laugh. Safe to say you're feeling pretty damn good if you're the Titans. Already got the ball at midfield, not even a minute in. That Titans offense starts cooking immediately. A swing pass to Derek Mason, a pass to Frank Wycheck, and a couple of bruising runs by Eddie George have the Titans inside the 10. McNair looks to strike early.
George, and he's split out as a wide receiver on 2nd and 8. The throw, incomplete. Close to a touchdown as it went through the...
Oh, James Farrier wants to be difficult today. No matter, McNair can just do it himself.
6 on the scoreboard. Quarterback draw, and it's a touchdown for
4 minutes in, and the Titans have a turnover and a touchdown to take the early lead. About the best start you can have to a game. Pittsburgh goes back on offense with some ground to cover. Anyways, that was a pretty unfair break for Maddox on his first throw. Let's try that again, shall we?
From the slot. Maddox comes back firing and completing to Randall L. in a first down at the Tennessee 43.
Hell of a ball from Maddox, but I hope you weren't expecting anything else out of that drive. A Zaraway run goes nowhere, linebacker Keith Bullock deflects a second down pass, and a third down flat route to wildcard hero Chris Fuamatu Malafala kills that drive off. The Steelers have gained chunk yardage on 3 separate occasions in the first quarter, and so far it's gotten them nowhere. The Titans are right back on offense looking to add to their lead. An Aaron Kinney completion is followed by a sack and a 1-yard run that should kill the drive. At least, it should.
Third down 16 for McNair. Underneath, complete to Drew Bennett. He's got speed and heads to the sidelines, gets the first down at the 45.
Bad break for the Steelers, and when they force another third down due to the Titans being unable to establish the run, another Drew Bennett catch and run ends up moving the chains yet again. It's not looking good for the Steelers. Their 2 offensive drives have gone essentially nowhere, and the defense is being drugged down the field again. The Titans continue to matriculate the ball downfield, but they're faced with a 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line. Do the Titans want to continue to drag Pittsburgh through the mud, or does the Steeler defense want to stand tall for the first time today?
George again, touchdown! How impressive a first quarter, the Tennessee Titan offense.
Up 14-0 after the first quarter, and it's your ball to start the second half? Yeah, everything's clicking for Tennessee right now. Another great return by Randall L. has the Steelers in business, but just to hammer home how horribly the first quarter has been for them, their last play is a Zaraway run that gets blown up. Okay, so in case it wasn't obvious that the Titans have completely controlled the first quarter, they ran 23 offensive plays to Pittsburgh's 7, have a massive time of possession advantage, got a turnover, and hold a 2-score lead. Ouch. The Steelers kick off quarter number 2 with a Zaraway run that gets most of those yards back. Then a catch from Randall L. and a free play moves the chains. Now would be a perfect time to put the foot on the gas and get some momentum back. Or...
Positive here offensively. Hines Ward yet to catch a pass. He was in motion, and here he comes in the backfield, and they got it. Back at the 41. Javon Curse in to make the play.
Or you could do that. Was Randy Fietner their offensive coordinator or something? It's Mike Mularkey for those who are curious. Anyway, just like that, the Steelers are faced with a 2nd and 20, and then a 3rd and 14. But look on the bright side. Someone is looking to atone for their past mistakes.
Maddox shotgun. They pick up the blitz. Maddox goes deep downfield. Complete. Plexico Burris, the rangy 6'5" target, pulls down a first down pass at the 30-yard line.
No banana peel is going to stop Burris this time. The Steelers are finally starting to click offensively. And then 2 penalties pushing them back 15 yards. Fan-freaking-tastic. And then Burris drops a wide-open pass on 2nd and 25, and just like that, the drive is dead. About as dead as Pittsburgh has looked all game so far. It's okay, they gotta wake up eventually, and if they don't want to do it, Tennessee could always wake them up against their will.
At their 8-yard line. McNair, and a fumble is out. A scramble, and it appears the Steelers have it at the 9-yard line.
A gift that the Steelers were in desperate need of. Okay guys, you've been asleep all game and have just been gift-wrapped the ball inside the 10. Do you at least want to make things interesting?
Maddox to the end zone. Touchdown, Hines Ward.
Only took them 1/3 of the game, but Pittsburgh is finally on the board. Kind of a bad break for the Titans, but they still have the ball up 7. Time for them to compose themselves and work their way back down the field.
Starting from the 17 is McNair. Oh! Almost intercepted.
Steve, buddy, do you want to never throw that again? If Jason Gilden comes down with this football, it's probably a touchdown in a tie game. The Titans ought to thank their lucky stars, that's for sure.
Eddie George eyeing that defense, and it's McNair going deep for Derek Mason, and it is intercepted by Chad Scott.
Okay, maybe Steve McNair was just keen on giving the ball away this drive. Oh, how quickly the tides can turn.
Really carved up by Kelly Holcomb in Cleveland last week. Now the toss for Burris, complete at the 20-yard line as Burris.
I mean, seriously, you blink and it's a whole new ball game. A few plays later, and the Steelers find themselves at a 3rd and 3 at the Tennessee 12-yard line. A chance to tie the game as Pittsburgh's to take advantage of.
Maddox, quick hitter, Incomplete. Burris. The ball was thrown a little behind him, and Samari rolled with the coverage, and Burris holding his back as he rolls over.
Well, that couldn't have gone much worse. Maddox misses an open Burris that would have been a touchdown, and now Burris is down with his status in question. Regardless, the Steelers have to continue to march, as they send in rookie kicker Jeff Reed for a 30-yard field goal.
A 30-yard field goal. Young man they call Quadzilla because of his large thighs. He pounds this one. It is good. It just did sneak in.
It's like the two teams swapped identities after the first quarter. Tennessee all of a sudden can't buy a break, while the Steelers have seemingly woken up and taken all momentum over. Just to rub salt in the wound, Eddie Berlin then muffs the ensuing kickoff, gets brought down shy of the 20-yard line, and a holding penalty pushes them back even further. And with that, Plaxico Burress is off to the tunnel. The Steelers just lost their ace receiver that had 62 receiving yards on only 2 catches in the game. Fortunately for Pittsburgh, they get 2 quick stops to force another third down on the Titans. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, their opponent is 5 for 5 on third down conversions so far.
And starting to feel a little desperate here as Robert Holcomb gives them hope, and Holcomb has a first down.
Make that 6 for 6. 2 catches by Frank Wycheck advance the ball to the 40. A penalty grants Tennessee extra yards on another third down conversion, but on the ensuing 3rd and 1, the Steelers finally get a stop. McNair falls down while pitching the ball to Robert Holcomb, and the ensuing run goes nowhere. The Steelers get the ball back, only down to score with a smidge under 2 minutes left, looking to get even closer.
They're down to the rookie Lee Mays as their 4th wide receiver underneath to Hines Ward. Ward terrific in the open field and has a first down. The Titan fans try to help their defense. And Maddox goes long, has a man open. And interference will be called.
Pass interference.
But they are like hip to hip.
Quite the convenient way to get inside the Tennessee 30, isn't it? Pittsburgh inches a little closer, but a sack by blitzing DB Donald Mitchell kills off any hopes of a go-ahead touchdown. Considering the circumstances, I think they'll take the field goal.
Distinguish themselves. He said, "Oh, what the Peter Scott?"
39-yard attempt. And the young guy skids another one through. 2 for 2, and he took paint with both of them.
That just about grazed the goalpost, but a make is a make. What an odd game this is. After the first quarter, you'd figure that the Titans were going to win by like 35 points or something, but then like the snap of a finger, the Steelers run house in the second quarter, and next thing you know, going into the break, it's a 1-point deficit for them. This really does feel like a blowout, wrapped in a close game, wrapped in another blowout. As the second half kicks off, the Titans take over at their own 33-yard line. Time to recapture their first quarter magic and build upon their lead.
Behind last week. They start with Eddie George, and he is stuffed for a yard loss as Casey Hampton.
Did he lose? Pittsburgh's acting like he lost the ball.
They did, and they recovered it. As Aaron Smith next to Hampton and George picked up the loose ball.
The Titans challenged the rule, arguing that George was down and had the ball, but to no avail. It's Pittsburgh's football for sure. Just in case things couldn't get any worse for the Titans, Eddie George was concussed in the play and would not return for the rest of the game. And in case that wasn't bad enough,
there's a chance that the lead was a fumble to start this second half. Zerouay, quiet in the first half. He's ripping here in the second half, all the way to the end zone.
Next thing you know, the Steelers have scored 20 unanswered points and have their first lead of the night. Tennessee needs to find a way to stop the bleeding. They work their way into Pittsburgh territory and are faced with a 3rd and 1. Despite the avalanche that has hit the Titans since the end of the first quarter, you can't say their third down play is off.
Down today. No sneak this time. What protection. Someone's got to be open. The long throw. Wycheck to the 4-yard line. The tight end was open.
That's the loudest this crowd has been in like 45 minutes. It probably stings for the Titans to not have Eddie George in these kinds of situations, but sometimes you just gotta adapt.
2. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown. And how appropriate. It's Wycheck with a score.
That's what elite improvisation a quarterback can do for his offense. There's a reason mobility at the position is a necessity now, as opposed to the luxury, or for some, the detriment it was thought to be in this era. The Titans are back in front with under 25 minutes left. Thankfully for Pittsburgh, the ensuing kickoff has them right back at the 30-yard line. Down a point with offense being no issue tonight, the Steelers need to get them when they can. A Zeraway run picks up 4 yards before Pittsburgh is blessed with even more good news. Plaxico Burress is back in the game, just in case the Titans needed any more reason to be nervous, I guess. Time for the Steelers to reclaim some of that momentum.
4 wide, Maddox on 2nd and 6. Almost picked off. It was in the arms of Donald Mitchell.
This really does feel like a game of missed opportunity, doesn't it? Weird. On 3rd down, Pittsburgh puts the ball in Randall L's hands, but the collegiate quarterback has no one to throw to. The Steelers have to punt into the wind, where Derek Mason puts Tennessee across the 40, and Mason isn't done making an impact in this game.
Guns it complete to Mason. And Mason with a first down at the Steeler 40. To maintain your concentration, Mason, who did not catch a pass.
On yet another 3rd down, Steve McNair has so much time that he could take a siesta in the backfield if he wanted to.
The 34-yard line. McNair. Wide open is wide shot.
Sensing a theme here, Tennessee is 10 of 11 on 3rd downs. Not exactly a recipe for playoff football now, is it? Is that not bad enough? How about another missed opportunity?
So far with good feelings. What a block! There's a try. It's caught by Drew Bennett.
Almost the interception the Steelers desperately needed, but clearly things just aren't meant to be for them right now. Let's just cut to the chase.
The throw, touchdown! Wide open is Aaron Kinney, the other tight end. Jolie Fisher joins the Titan fans as they cheer back-to-back scores.
Right back where they left off in the first quarter, the Titans have scored 14 unanswered points. The Steelers find themselves down 8, needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. It's not going to happen this drive, though. 3 plays generate essentially 0 offense. With all the momentum back in Tennessee's favor, they're now getting the ball back, and Derek Mason isn't done making noise.
Dying spiral right at the 40. Mason eludes the first man. Cat-like quick. 50. One man to beat Ruin. Gets by him, but he's thrown him down enough, but
It was all for naught, though, as due to a successful Bill Cowher challenge ruled that Mason's knee was down early. But wait, there's more. An illegal downfield penalty on the Steelers allows the Titans to redo 4th down. This time, the ball takes a Tennessee bounce. After all that, the Titans are getting the ball in Steeler territory. Here's Tennessee's chance to blow the game open. The drive doesn't look too promising, though. 2 plays net negative yards as, it's 3rd down. The Titans are 11 for 12 up to this point. Brace yourself, fellas.
that was the first play of the second half. On 3rd and long, McNair fires long. Incomplete.
Oh, hey, look, another missed opportunity. Where have we seen those before? The Titans can't take advantage and have to punt the ball back. A bad punt grants the Steelers solid field position. A DPI on Samari Roll gives the Steelers a nice chunk of yards, and on a 3rd and long, Maddox hits Terrence Mathis to move the chains. The game enters its final quarter, and if the Steelers want any chance to pull this off, they're gonna have to have a quarter equivalent to what they had in the second. On 2nd and 10, the bells are ringing. You know what that means.
Maddox on 2nd and 10, underneath, incomplete. Was it picked off? No. Hit the ground.
How many back-breaking plays have both teams avoided today? If you responded with something like 37 million, I wouldn't argue with you. Pittsburgh has stopped short of the 1st down, and with 13:48 to go and counting, they send out Jeff Reed to hack into the deficit even further.
Fake. Not this time, and not this time does he make it. He's been flirting with those uprights and the other 2 field goals.
You're not going to get away with inching the ball past the post a 3rd time, Jeff. The Titan lead remains at 8. Thankfully for Pittsburgh, they finally force a 3-and-out to get the ball right back. Time for Antoine Randall to inject some energy back into Pittsburgh.
They gave up 3 touchdowns in the regular season. Antoine Randall.
Look out.
And flags fly. Several.
This is coming back. This doesn't matter where he goes. There was a block in the back.
But it shows you the brilliance of this rookie from Indiana who thought he had scored a touchdown, and so did his teammates, but there were 2 or 3 illegal blocks.
Just in case you're not very good at reading lips, let's just say Bill Cowher respectfully disagrees with the referee's decision.
Speed and quick.
Illegal block in the back. Number 45 of the return team. 10 yards. 1st down. Timeout.
Look at the very upper right corner of our screen. You'll see the block in the back right there by Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala.
The Steelers unleashed some of their aggression by running the Wildcat on first down to move the chains. We're about 6 years away from the Wildcats' Linsanity run too. With Maddox back in the game, he completes a pass to Zeraway, who gets hammered by Tank Williams. What a badass name. Tank. With Pittsburgh facing a third down with under 12 minutes left, they need some juice, and they need it now.
A big 3 for the Steelers. Maddox, wide open is the veteran Mathis, and he has the first down.
A much-needed conversion moves the Steelers inside the 30. They're knocking on the door. Now who are they going to dial to barge through the gates?
The Steelers trail by 8. Quick throw, complete. That's Hines Ward. Touchdown.
They've got to go for 2.
This is the part of the video where I remind you that Hines Ward was actually a running back in college. Yeah, the Steelers seem to have a knack for that, don't they? That being said, the Steelers can't ease for a second. They still need a 2-point conversion to even things up.
That's one of them in motion. Randall L.
Here's
to Ward. Is he going to throw? Yes. And it works to Plexico Burris. We're tied at 28.
Screw Randall L throwing the ball. Why not have Hines Ward throw the game-tying pass? I bet that wasn't on your bingo card. Just like that, we have a tie game with over 10 minutes left. As for the chaotic nature of this game, it seems like the Steelers are regaining the chokehold they had on the Titans in the second quarter. It's now Tennessee's time to respond to that.
Did a good job of eluding that pressure to make the play happen, and now it's McNair going long. Intercepted by Deshae Townsend. And Townsend with the 4th turnover for the Steelers today.
Has it occurred to the Titans that YOLO jump balls are a bad idea? Calvin Johnson is not on your team, fellas. The Steelers will gladly take the turnover right back. This game has had almost everything. Feels like it's missing something, though. I've got it! Conflict!
Offside on the Titans. The throw. Oh! Hines Ward is hit, and a flag goes down. That was a helmet-to-helmet. And Maddox chewing things with what's Derek Mason doing out there?
Well, Jeff Fisher is well out onto the field as well. That's right, Jeff. Get everybody back on your sidelines.
Number 91 defense. Penalties decline. Personal foul. Helmet-to-helmet hit on a receiver. Number 31. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
The question is going to be, does he turn himself into a weapon?
Yeah, look
From that angle,
there.
it did look like a shoulder. Oh, I think that's a bad call. My initial reaction is that he hits him with a shoulder.
For those of you who complain about soft officiating now, it wasn't too much better in the past. A rough break for the Titans has them staring a deficit in the face as Pittsburgh is immediately inside the Titan 25-yard line. Thankfully for the Titans, their defense is able to stand tall, preventing a touchdown. Out comes Jeff Reed again.
Missed to the left last time. This time, he's got it. And the Steelers claim the lead 31-28 with 8.5 to go.
All of a sudden, Tennessee's offense has to take over with a sense of urgency. With less than 8.5 minutes to go, they find themselves down a field goal. Surrendering possession and allowing a long touchdown drive could very well be the dagger.
McNair complete to Bennett. And Drew Bennett with a first down in a playoff game for the Titan quarterback, who throws complete to Wycheck, and Wycheck's in double figures by Wycheck. He throws this one to Bennett, and Drew Bennett gets more. First down at the 22.
Tennessee's composure gets them inside the 25, but Steve McNair roughs up his hand in the process. Although you know the Titans were thinking end zone, they can't connect for the rest of the drive, sending out Joe Nendy to attempt a field goal for the first time today. With how this game has gone, time is not their friend.
Into the wind, however, it's just a tough kick. Boy, did he draw that one in there. Tied at 31.
A trip to the AFC Championship in Oakland comes down to the final 6 minutes. Best case scenario for the Steelers, they could control this clock and have the last word if they play their cards correctly. Maddox hits Hines Ward for a first down in single coverage, but the next 3 plays yield only 8 yards. 4th and 2 at the Tennessee 49-yard line. 3 minutes left in a tie game. In today's game, many coaches in the NFL will be inclined to go for it, take the risk and try to put the game away as soon as you can. Not Bill Cowher, however. They punt the ball back to the Titans, pin them at their own 10 where,
Turn.
Neil O'Donnell is coming into the game.
So that hand injury maybe that Steve McNair suffered was more serious than it appeared.
2:43 to go, playoffs on the line, and in comes the backup quarterback. Steeler fans know this name all too well when Neil O'Donnell was the Steelers signal caller for a stretch of the 90s when he reached Super Bowl 30 and threw two of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life. Now he's in charge of orchestrating a game-winning drive against his old team in the playoffs. Yeah, McNair seems disgusted with the fact that he can't go back in the game, but he seems wanting. O'Donnell immediately shows why he's a backup, but a DPI on Chad Scott advances the ball nonetheless.
It's running down the field. Yeah,
the ball was uncatchable.
Yeah.
Third down.
Good call.
Did I mention that Neil O'Donnell got $25 million from the Jets after those Super Bowl interceptions? No? Well, now you know that it pays to be a tall white guy with a strong arm. That being said, the Titans have seen enough, and Steve McNair is back in the game, just in time for a pivotal 3rd and 6.
Throws while being hit. Incomplete to Wycheck. No flag. Titan fans can't believe it.
The Titans just gave the ball up with under 2.5 minutes left, and all momentum is in Pittsburgh's favor. Time for this game to reach its climax.
And gets it to the 50. Fumble the ball. It's picked up by the Titans. This is Rich Cody. Cody. Touchdown. Tennessee.
An official threw his hat. An official threw his hat back at the 50-yard line.
That means the play is dead.
They're going to rule it down.
Oh, my.
Football really is a game of inches, isn't it? The Steelers are a field goal away from pay dirt with 2 minutes left. Someone needs to shift the tide in favor of their team. At this point, one shift may be all it takes to secure a win.
Tied at 31. Approaching the 2-minute timeout, and Zerouay in the embrace of Albert Hainsworth.
Oh, he's going to get a personal foul. You can't take a guy and drive him into the ground like that, Albert.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 97 defense. 15 yards. The first down.
I'd like to say rookie mistake, but come on, it's Albert Hainsworth. The Steelers are on the cusp of field goal range. They can smell it.
Maddox short on the throw. That kid Maddox at the controls for Pittsburgh. Incomplete. Randall L to the left. Almost intercepted on the deflection. Tank Williams had a shot at it.
Albert Hainsworth, thank your lucky stars. The Titans are getting another chance to put this game away. 1:43 to go. The Steelers only have one timeout left, so Tennessee can play for overtime if they please, or they can gamble on Steve McNair's injured thumb to get them across the finish line. Jeff Fisher chooses the latter.
Throws to the sideline. Oh, what a risky throw to Drew Bennett.
A couple plays later, and the Titans are faced with a 3rd and 5, aka Pittsburgh's kryptonite.
On 3rd and 5. First down. Mason again to the 49 of Pittsburgh.
The clock continues to tick.
Run a real play.
Mason, 5 catches here in the second half. McNair. Pulling away from the Steelers. And there's that toughness to the 44.
The Titans call their last timeout with 31 seconds to go. Only moments removed from the Steelers being in control, the Titans are now at the doorstep of a game-winning field goal. This time, they have the clock on their side. They're not home free yet, though.
The field.
The throw is a lateral pass, and it's Mason reaching to the 41-yard line. Did not. No, the clock continues. And now McNair really has to hustle to get up there and down the ball, stop the clock.
Ooh, that chewed up an awful lot of time. That was a killer.
He's not going to throw it down, apparently. Going to run a play. No, now he does after a hesitation.
Whoa.
Rough break for the Titans. 8 seconds left and a 4th and 1. The Titans are going for it. All they need is one chunk play and to get out of bounds so they can trot out Joe Nenny to take them home victorious. The Steelers are one stop away from overtime, which they're forced with since they couldn't put the dagger in when they had the chance.
Formation. There's the and Holcomb gets the 10 yards. There's the 10. 3 seconds to go.
perfect execution by the Titans gets them 10 yards, more than enough to be in Nedney's range. He's sent out to boot a 48-yard field goal to put the Steelers away. Pittsburgh watches in agony.
Who will try a 48-yard field goal to win it. High snap, the kick is no good. Never had a chance.
Playoff overtime.
Well, so much for that. After 60 minutes of grueling football, the AFC Divisional playoff will require overtime. And as we all know, the coin toss is vital.
Pittsburgh, call it toss, please. Tails is called. Heads it is. Tennessee wins the toss. They want the football. Which goal do you want to defend? Hold it! Which goal do you want?
Remember, overtime rules were different back in 2002. It's sudden death. The next score wins no matter what. You aren't getting a possession if you hold the opponent to a field goal. That rule didn't come into effect until 2011. With that, Steve McNair and the Titans offense go to work. For them, they hope it's the last time they have to do so. McNair and Mason can't connect on first down. It really is do or die for both squads now.
Right thumb. Complete to McCarron's. Free. 50. 40 and out of bounds inside the Pittsburgh 40.
Overtime is cruel, isn't it? One broken tackle later and the Steelers' backs are officially against the wall. They can't afford to allow one more big play.
Blitz coming. McNair. It's McCarron's again. Back-to-back catches by the second-year receiver from Northern Illinois.
Cojones of steel. Couldn't ask for much more of McNair. His best play of the day has the Titans in the red zone. After one run play to get them a tad closer, here comes Joe Nedney once again. This kick is even shorter than the last. Only 31 yards, but by no means a sure thing.
We're calling for a timeout.
No play. But he got a warm-up kick.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Pretend you're Joe Nedney in this situation. You've just been iced on a game-winning kick. Might feel good that the kick went through, but it doesn't really matter. In these ice situations, the kicker has to stay put and think for a minute. That being said, what is the absolute last thing you want to see or hear in this situation?
Which isn't all bad either.
And he made it. Look at Nedney laugh. Yeah, the skyrocket guy. Hey, boys, it didn't count.
Well, now it sets off one at the other end.
Unbelievable.
Pyrotechnical prematurity.
What are you saying? That's not the most brutal jinxing one can conceive of? I mean, really? The damn fireworks? Nonetheless, Joe Nedney has to make the kick once more, with that firework bullshit in his mind. Still one make away from the AFC Championship.
They won the 31-yard field goal by Nedney to advance to the AFC Championship. No good!
They knocked him down! Nedney got roughed!
Nedney misses, and then a penalty flag down where he kicked the ball.
Now, if this is just running into the kicker, it won't be enough for a first down. This would be a first down if it's roughing the kicker. It's
running into the kicker. Number 20, defense, 5 yards.
Dwayne Washington.
Still second
Beat
down.
down.
Now you go to second and like 1. You go to second and 1. Now, if I'm Jeff Fisher, my kicker's just missed a field goal. Do I just go ahead and kick it again? Or at second and 1, do I run the football and try to run it in for a touchdown?
And look at Bill Cowher. They get a break. They miss the short field goal, and his veteran cornerback runs into the kicker.
I got to tell you right now, I'd send my offense back out on the field. Now, if he kicks it, great. And he does this kick. Jeff Fisher's going to be in a tough spot.
He makes this one, and Tennessee advances to the championship game.
And I think Bill Cowher is telling Ron Blum, you cost us a game by calling that penalty.
Just a week after NFL officials admitted to getting a game-deciding call wrong in a playoff game, the last thing the NFL wanted is more controversy. For the game to be decided on a call like that is ludicrous, Cowher would later say. Did Dwayne Washington run into the kicker here? I believe so. However, did Joe Nedney flop here? Absolutely. Whether or not Nedney's flop initiated the call is for you to decide. Hell, to confirm that Nedney did in fact flop here, how about we go ahead and ask the man himself? That good enough for you? In the NFL playoffs, not being able to take advantage of the opportunities put in front of you will kill you. Allowing your opponent to go 12 for 18 on third down is a recipe for disaster. One missed field goal or one inaccurate throw is all it takes in the grand scheme of things. The 2003 Steelers regressed to 6-10, all but confirming that the roster in place wasn't good enough to get them over the top. Tommy Maddox's time in the spotlight was all but over, as the draft made it clear that the team was ready to find their next signal caller. Let's just say things got better for the Steelers over the next decade. The Titans were demolished by the Raiders in the AFC Championship and would only enjoy one more year of success before regression punched them in the face like Mike Tyson did to Mitch Green. Steve McNair won a co-MVP with Peyton Manning in 2003, but injuries proceeded to slow his career down soon thereafter. The Titans traded him to Baltimore in 2006, deciding Texas phenom Vince Young would take the reins, to mixed results. Jeff Fisher would coach the Titans for 8 more years, never replicating the success he attained in 1999 and 2002. After this season, Fisher only won one more playoff game in his career before he was fired, and went on to become a meme with the St. Louis Rams. To this day, the 0-2 playoff win against the Steelers is the last home playoff win for the Titans. Despite no shortage of success and iconic moments since moving to Nashville, the Tennessee Titans are still waiting on their first Super Bowl win. But on one cool night in January against a former rival, the Titans were allowed the sweetest taste of victory in the playoffs, and thanks to a gutsy effort from their quarterback, their tight end, and the Oscar-worthy acting of a lonely place kicker.